All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to settle the issue. It is time to bring the discussion about Brant's bugs, unintended nerfs, etc., whatever terminology we want to use when it comes to the massive issue he had with his dodge counters bringing him to the ground. It is time to settle it and get all of the facts straight. So when it came to Brant on an update that was made on February 22nd, this was some pretty viral footage that went around the Wuthering Waves community. A clip of Brant in gameplay dodge countering in the air and then proceeding to do a dodge counter following up on that attack that brings him to the ground. And we've talked a lot about the issues that occur from this, right? He's not able to continue his air combos. He's not able to access the sequence nodes that buff his damage if he does air combos. And it's an overall massive loss to the character and their performance. This video itself followed up by showing an example of what Brant used to look like before the change. He would do a dodge counter and then proceed to follow up with air attacks. Kind of like the intended way for the character to work. And this was before that update on February 22nd. Unfortunately, people saw this footage, and instead of accepting that there was some change made to the character that made them weaker, people started theory crafting. They started theory crafting about how, oh, it's actually a skill issue. It's actually a situation where somebody's failing to land attacks, and so they're supposed to stay in the air. And people started blaming the person who was trying to whistleblow on this. People started blaming the Brant mains community. They started trying to go ahead and frame this as a non-issue, as something that didn't need to be changed. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Brant was bugged and or unintentionally nerfed on February 22nd. And now, ladies and gentlemen, according to the most recent update that was made to the game, sometime either today or yesterday, he has been fixed. And so let's take a look at it. This is the trial. Dodge counter into air attacks. Let's watch that again. In the air, dodge counter immediately into more air attacks. And this is on the most recent update that was made, again, in response to all of the complaints, the people on the Brant main subreddit calling this issue out and demanding that feedback gets sent to Kuro Games 11 days ago. And so, we got it fixed. We got it fixed. But there are still likely going to be people, right, that are going to go ahead. They're going to frame this as a situation where, this was always intended. There was no actual bug that got fixed. And so maybe we need to go ahead and actually do a little bit of verification, do a little bit of testing ourselves to see whether or not it's still an issue. Do keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this was Brant gameplay from 2 weeks ago by Stepperu. This was Brant gameplay from 2 weeks ago, and this is what he was looking like. More dodge counters into smooth follow-ups. And let's remember the final part about this entire matter. This is what we hope isn't going to happen anymore. This situation over here that just looks ridiculous. Where the character dodge counters and then proceeds to go from 10 feet into the air all the way to the ground. This is something that we hope we never see. And this is also another thing when it comes to this situation. People were saying, oh, because the first part of this dodge counter doesn't land, that's why he stays in the air. People were starting to theory craft even more about how it's not a bug. And so there's just always something going on when it comes to defending a poor implementation or an unintended change. People are always going to be theory crafting ways to try and prove either CCs or people that are calling out the issues wrong. And it's just such a shame. It is such a shame that this is the sort of dynamic that's being built up across the community. People whistleblowing, trying to fix the character before release, trying to make him better. And all people are saying is that the CCs are wrong. The people on the Brant main subreddit are wrong, and that it's just a skill issue. So let's go ahead. We've done all the homework. We've done all the research. We framed the entire situation. We know that this post is bullshit, and we know that's supposedly fixed. Let's go ahead. Let's try it out now. And we're going to be using every single dodge counter we possibly can in every single way. I've got an account, credits, by the way, credits for this account that's on the Brant fight, Tubla Newman. One of the first people that was actually pointing out this issue. Their account is still here, and they're letting us use it to verify today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Brant trial ready. And what we're going to be looking to do here is, of course, see if those air dodge counters are fixed, show off the ground dodge counters, and of course, a full proper rotation on the character. I do believe we're good to go.
Listen carefully.
Just doing an air combo here. And that's what a full one looks like. So let's see if we can incorporate a dodge in there. And it works out perfectly. And remember, this is the ground dodge counter.
A little mishap.
That's what the ground dodge counter looks like. So let's do some more ones in the air.
First to the treasure.
Perfect. And it does not interrupt his air attack chain. Not even a little bit.
Perfect finale.
We do a full combo there.
More passion.
And no interruption at all to the air combo.
Let the tempest strike harder.
One more time.
Listen carefully.
No interruptions at all.
Listen carefully. First to the treasure.
So, you all saw from those clips, the dodge counter is clearly fixed. We're not seeing him ever use this animation, ever, in the air anymore. And that's exactly what people wanted, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly the type of gameplay that people were looking for on the character. No more odd actions, right? Like dodging, punishing you, and punishing the way that his kit works. And so with that, we've proven that the bug has in fact gotten fixed. Let's see what one of his optimal rotations looks like after the update. Let's show off one of Brant's optimal rotations using his intro skill and his liberation.
Moment of resonance. No hesitation.
At the helm. Let
We got his liberation going.
rise.
Doing the held attack. Boom. And we're done. And then we swap off, use return from the ashes, go back onto Brant, and then intro skill to whoever needs it. And that's kind of just going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be how Brant works now on the live version of the patch. That's just how fast his rotations are. And you can see all of that is done while he's in the air. And so that's why his dodge counters, right, bringing him to the ground, was such a big flaw in his design. Because you simply were not able to generate the Forte that quickly when across his rotations, he generates a full Forte circuit as long as he's using mid-air attacks within 3 to 4, maybe 5 seconds, depending on how fast you're doing your combos. And that was a level of smoothness. That was a level of just great gameplay that everybody was looking to just have returned to the game. That's why all of these individuals were making so many posts on the Brant main subreddit. That's why people were repeatedly posting about it. That's why there are so many videos of people showing off how the change has been made or reverted. And ladies and gentlemen, as a final reminder, this is why you stop giving so much airtime, so much trust into somebody like this who has no fucking clue what they're talking about, who's just typing and putting in random shit from the game to try and explain a bug. And we have 79.4k people who saw this complete fucking misinformation, started going onto content creators channels, started talking shit and basically harassing every single person just trying to get the issue fixed. And thankfully, Kuro listened to the right people. The devs listened to the right people. They didn't listen to this fucking guy. They listened to everybody on the Brant main subreddit. They listened to the creators making videos about it. The people calling it nerfs or unintended nerfs or bugs. Who cares about the fucking semantics? Who cares about the terminology? What we knew was that this was a change that made Brant worse, and people were struggling everywhere to get it fixed. 11 days ago is when it started, and it only got fixed 2 days from his release. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is why being vocal, this is why complaining or quote-unquote doom posting is important, because it draws the devs' attention. It draws the community's attention to an actual problem. And thankfully, that problem has been fixed as of now on the live version of the patch. And so yes, Wuthering Waves community, yes, you individuals who saw this video, had no idea what you were seeing, and then proceeded to spam skill issue to every CC who was trying to address the topic, you need to start giving some fucking apologies. Or just lose all the credibility you have. Because at this point, you were talking so much shit. You were giving people so much trouble. The people who are just trying to get the character fixed so that they release in the full strength possible. My goodness. It is an absolute shame that this issue managed to evolve from talking about the game to talking shit about CCs and saying that they're doom posting. Well, guess what? We got the job done. We got the job done. And my oh my, everybody spouting this narrative, you should not be listened to in the future, because you'll believe anything you see. You are the most gullible fools in gacha gaming. And we can only pray that the next time a discussion like this comes up, idiots that supported this just keep their mouths shut. So with that, let me know what you all think. Peace.